Good morning, students. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss erythropoiesis as well as leukopoiesis. Erythropoiesis is the process of formation of RBC or red blood cells, and leukopoiesis is the formation of WBCs. Okay. In this class, we are going to discuss different stages of erythropoiesis as well as leukopoiesis. Erythropoiesis. In this process of red blood corpuscles maturation, a cell in the process of red blood maturation, a cell undergoes a series of differentiation. Okay, it arises, then it matures, and it becomes a mature RBC. In between this formation and maturation, there is a number of steps. Okay, the following stages of development all occur within bone marrow. Okay, most of the stages occur within the bone marrow. It is the site of formation of RBC. Stem cells are the primary cells which are capable of self-renewal and differentiation into specialized cells. You may heard about stem cells. These are the unspecialized cells, and these cells can be formed into any other types of. It has a capacity to form any other cells. Okay. Otherwise, a particular cell divides and it form only it like its parental cell. If bone cells divides, it form bone cells. But if skin cells divides, it forms skin cell because its fate is determined. But stem cells are different from these cells because it has totipotent cells. It can form any other type of cells. Okay, homopoietic stem cells are the primitive cells in the bone marrow which can give rise to blood cells. So this homopoietic stem cells means these cells are cells can develop into any types of blood types. Any types of blood cells. Okay, it can be developed into an RBC, WBC, or plate. The hemopoietic stem cells in the bone marrow is called uncommitted pluripotent hemocytic stem cells, PHC. Uncommitted means does not committed its fate. It can be any type of blood cells, and it is pluripotent hemopoietic stem cells, PHSC. Okay, PHSE can give rise to any type of blood cells. Later, the uncommitted PHSC becomes committed PHC. These are the cells which can, its development is restricted to give rise to a group of blood cells. And you should draw this picture and you should study this picture. Okay, it's very important. If you study this picture, its whole thing is given in this picture itself. It is very necessary to include this type of picture in your essays. So you have to draw this picture. The committed PHC are of two types, lymphoid stem cells and colony forming blastocytes. Okay, you have to study this. First, we have uncommitted PHC, pluripotent hemocytic stem cells, and then it becomes committed PHC, and this committed PHC is of two types. They are lymphoid stem cells and colony forming blastocytes. Lymphoid stem cells and colony forming blastocytes. Lymphoid stem cells means they form lymphocyte and natural killers. These are the WBCs. And colony forming blastocytes means there are three different types of colony forming blastocytes. Excluding lymphocyte, all other blood cells are formed from colony forming blastocytes. There are three different types of colony forming blastocytes. These are colony forming units, erythrocytes, CFU bar E. That is erythrocytes forming cells, and B colony forming units, granulocytes bar monocytes. Granulocytes, all the granulocytes, that means neutrophil, basophil and eosinophil, and monocytes are formed from this CFU bar GM. Okay, and other type of colony forming blastocytes are the colony forming units, megakaryocytes, that means CFU bar M. These are platelets forming cells. So committed, uncommitted PHC become committed PHC, and this committed PHSC are two types, lymphoid stem cells lymphocytes are formed from that, and colony forming blastocytes or other blood cells are formed from colony forming blastocytes. There are three different types of colony forming blastocytes. These are colony forming units erythrocytes, colony forming units granulocytes, bar monocytes, and colony forming units megakaryocytes. RBC formulation and maturation. Now we are going to discuss the process which are particularly involving in the erythropoiesis. The cells, the CFUE colony forming units, erythrocytes, pass through different stages and finally become matured RBC. During these stages, four important changes are noticed. When it becomes a mature RBC, the following four important changes are noticed in it. First one, the reduction of the size of the cell. Size of the cell reduces. Second, disappearance of nucleoli and nucleus. You know, RBC does not have nucleus, so nucleus disappears. Appearance of the hemoglobin, nucleus and nucleolus disappears, but appearance of the hemoglobin occur, and changes in the staining properties of the cytoplasm, and these are the important changes which occur during the formation of the maturation of the RBC. Now we are going to discuss different stages of the erythropoiesis, and first stage it is pronomoblast or megaloblast. It is commonly called proerythroblast or rubriblast. It is the first cell derived from CFU, does not contain hemoglobin, and cytoplasm is basophilic in nature. They divide several times and finally forms the cells of the next stage, which is called normoblast. Okay, so uncommitted PHC, committed PHC, CFUE, then it becomes pronormoblast. Then next stage is the normoblast or early normoblast. This becomes a basophilic or early normoblast. So it is called erythroblast. Nucleoli disappears, condensation of the chromatin network occurs, cytoplasm is basophilic in nature, and this cells develops into next stage called intermediate normoblast. Okay. Then third, polychromatophilic or intermediate normoblast. Due to the presence of hemoglobin, it stains both acidic as well as basic stains. In this stage, hemoglobin is incorporated into the cell. Cytoplasm is basophilic. The cell develops into next stage called late normoblast. Late normoblast or orthochromatic stage. At this stage, the nucleus is expelled before the cell become reticulocyte. So next stage, during this late normoblastic stage, the nucleus is expelled. Quantity of the hemoglobin increases again. Cytoplasm almost become acidophilic. So its cell is orthochromic erythroblast. Next, it is reticulocyte. It is also called immature RBC. It is a slightly larger than matured RBC. Cytoplasm contains the reticular network or reticulum, which is formed by the remnants of disintegrated organelles. You know, the all organelles are cell organelles are not present in the RBC. So this organelle starts to disintegrate and it occurs as a reticular network. So it is called reticulocytes. Newly circulating red blood cells, there is a 1% of reticulocytes. After 1 or 2 days, they ultimately become erythrocytes or mature red blood cells. And sixth stage, this is the final stage, it is the matured erythrocytes. The reticular network disappears and the cell become matured RBC, attains biconcave shape. The matured RBC with the hemoglobin and without nucleus. It requires 7 days for the development and maturation RBC from proerythroblast. The reticulocyte take 2 days to become a mature RBC. So you have to study this picture also. You should draw this picture. Here you can see what are the different stages which occurs in the bone marrow, and after it is released into the peripheral blood, and you can see the stages which occur in the stage also. formation of WBC or leukopoiesis. Okay, white blood cells begin in the bone marrow, formed from the bone marrow by a process which is called hematopoiesis. All blood cells, including white blood cells, red blood cells, and platelets, descend from a common hematopoietic stem cells or pluripotent stem cells. The hematopoietic stem cells in the bone marrow are called uncommitted pluripotent hematopoietic stem cells. When the cells are designed to form particular type of blood cells, the uncommitted PHC are called committed PHC. That we already discussed during erythropoiesis. I just mentioned here also because the primary steps are same for both erythropoiesis as well as leukopoiesis. And you know, first uncommitted PHC, then committed PHC. These committed PHC two types: lymphoid stem cells and colony forming blastocytes. The lymphoid stem cells gives rise to lymphocyte and natural killer cell, and all other different types of WBCs. They are formed from colony forming blastocytes. The granulocytes and monocytes are formed from colony forming units G bar M, and the megakaryocytes. Okay, so platelets are formed from megakaryocytes. The committed BHC are of two types: lymphoid stem cells, which gives rise to lymphocyte and natural killer cell; colony forming cell, they form myeloid cells. They form other blood cells other than lymphocyte. While they grow in culture, the cell colonies, hence the name colony forming blastocysts. There are different units of colony forming, but they are colony forming unit erythrocytes, colony forming unit granulocytes and monocytes. So in this second type of colony forming unit G bar M, all other leukocytes are formed. And you should draw this picture in your notebook. It's very important, and you should add it is in your if it is asked in the examination, you have to add. So thank you. This all about this formation of WBC. So thank you.